Hi everyone, it's Lisa Ann from Lisa Ann Tarot. Going to try to record this reading. Yes, Mercury retrograde is kicking my butt with technology. This is about the fourth attempt to recording this video. And warning, my dogs and my birds are not cooperating either. So, let's see if we can get through it. So this is an energy update for the month of March, what we can look forward to as a collective, as a connection through March. We're looking at the Divine Masculine's energy, the Divine Feminine's energy, what's going on with the connection itself, the overall themes, and what's supporting them, what is kind of holding them back a little bit. And then we have some guidance cards. So take a deep breath. And let's go. Okay. So the themes for the month of March. For the connection, we have balance, spirituality, and practicality. And we have nothing is yet set in stone. So what this means to me as far as the connection is concerned is that this is all about balance. The month of March is sort of an in-between month. It's not quite winter. It's not quite spring. So everything is finding its footing. Everything that's buried in the ground is starting to awaken and preparing to grow. And, the weather is hopefully starting to settle. So we have a lot of settling, a lot of balancing going on. And that's true for this connection. Each counterpart in their own right is doing their own last minute work, finding their balance, balancing their outer worlds and their inner worlds, balancing their energies within themselves. So there is a lot of balancing, a lot of, like I said, settling energies. So they do need to come into balance within themselves in order to align with each other and be on the same vibrational pattern in order to come together. So, these are sort of, I don't want to say the final steps, but these are very critical steps towards sacred union. The card for theme for the masculine for March is going to be bold and make the first move. So the masculines are going through the part of their awakening or the part of their journey where they are letting go of past hurts, past regrets, practicing forgiveness, finding their self-worth, finding their stable footing to move forward. They know what they want in their heart and their mind. They're just in the stage now of trying to figure out how to make it work. So there are some things that need to be, some changes that they need to go through and things that they need to take care of in their physical world as well. So this is their part of their journey where they're finding the courage and the strength to sort of move this connection forward. The feminine's overall theme for this month is bring love into the situation, and you're very close to achieving your goals. So we've said all along from the beginning that this is essentially the path of the feminine. The feminine energy, as much as we always look to the masculine to see what he's doing, the feminine is the one that is really leading the way and doing a lot of the energy work and keeping this connection moving. The thing that the feminine has to remember at this time is to practice that unconditional love. So we do want to make sure that we're just throwing love into this connection. You're allowing the masculine his space, allowing him to do and move at his own pace, and do the things that he needs to do in order to come around. No judgment, no conditions, no harsh energies. Everything needs to be very nurturing, very loving, and very supportive. And then you're close to achieving your goals. So this is an indicator as well that we're getting to this critical stage in the connection. So that's very good energy coming into March. So let's look now at the masculine's energy for March. He has the Eight of Cups, the Five of Wands, and the Moon. So the Eight of Cups is about walking away from things that no longer serve you. It's about going off in search of your two missing cups, the Two of Cups. We have the Five of Wands, so this is about a conflict. So some of the changes and some of the things that he's having to do and make could be causing conflict in his physical world, as well as, an inner battle. One second, let me. Okay, so we have the Eight of Cups, the Five of Wands, and then the Moon. So the Moon is about illusion, about suppressed emotion, keeping things under wraps, not really dealing with his emotions at this time. He's doing a lot of work and really trying to control his feelings and emotions. So we ask for some clarifiers. So for the clarify the Eight of Cups, we have Judgment. So the divine is stepping in for the masculine and sort of forcing him to look at all aspects of himself, his inner child, his shadow side, his physical world, and kind of make sure that all of them are in alignment. And we talked about balance and imbalance. So he's really looking into himself and how he's living and comparing how he's living with how he wants to live. And in doing that overlook of his life, he is being guided to walk away from anything that no longer serves him, anything that doesn't bring him joy, anything that does not match his vibration or his path going forward. When we clarified the Five of Wands, we have the Four of Swords. So this is about an internal battle. So he is going within. He is dealing possibly with his ego, maybe his path forward, could be having a conflict with decisions that he's made in his life. Maybe he made a decision that he, wanted to be single and didn't want a relationship, but he's being pulled towards this connection. So that's going to cause a little bit of a ruckus within himself. So he's gone within and he's resting and really doing some soul searching and praying and really looking at those deep thoughts that he's having. To clarify the Moon, we have the Seven of Pentacles and we have Temperance. So he is taking a pause to sort of temper and balance these emotions, and the divine is helping him with that. He can't continue to suppress the emotions because suppressed emotions, cause physical pain, cause problems. And the emotions are strong, and he needs to let them come up and really let them balance and temper them. So that's the masculine's energy. Let's look at the feminine's energy right now for March. Now the dog wants to come in. I'm going to pain him at the neck. Okay. So we have the Six of Swords, the Page of Pentacles, the King of Wands, and the Queen of Cups came out together. So this is our couple here. Excuse me again. So we have the Six of Swords. The Six of Swords is about coming out of rough seas into calmer waters, heading towards home, getting prepared to make that journey. The Page of Pentacles is about looking for that solid offer, doing her part to be a part of that solid offer. And with the King of Wands and the Queen of Cups, she is sitting as the Queen of Cups. very nurturing, very loving, like I said, with bringing love into the situation. Very strong and stable, caring. She sees her masculine as the King of Wands, very passionate, very logical, very strong energy, reliable. So she sees him in a very good light. So clarifying the Six of Swords, we have the Five of Swords and the World. So this is the cycle that's closing for her. It's a kind of a defeated type energy, embattled, kind of not giving up and going home, but she's got to lay down her swords and not fight this connection, not try to push this connection, not try to fight what's destined. She needs to sort of relax and get in the flow and allow things to happen at their own pace. Sometimes when we try to force things to happen in this journey, it causes things to slow down because you're trying to force a square peg into a round hole, if you will. You have to wait until you're in alignment and things come together naturally. So she's figuring this part of the lesson out, and she's allowing things to flow and letting go of expectation and letting go of trying to force things to happen. She, is going to shine her light and be the beacon that's going to lead him home. Clarifying the Page of Pentacles, we have the Four of Wands, the Hierophant, and the High Priestess. So that combination of cards to me is a solid offer. She is all doing her part to build this solid foundation. The Four of Wands is the union card, so she is preparing for this union. She knows with the Hierophant what this contract is about. She knows that they need to fulfill their soul contract. The Hierophant is also about a spiritual, getting a spiritual education, learning on her way about her journey. And she's in her High Priestess energy, which is about going within and trusting her intuition and really balancing out her energies inside her, because she has to be able to balance out him. So when we talk about balance, if the masculine, when you're connected at this stage of the journey energetically, you can tell when your counterpart is struggling. So when you feel that struggle and you feel that they're going through something tough, you have to sort of adjust your sails and kind of bring that balance back in. If you find that they're sort of lacking and kind of falling behind, you need to intensify your energy in order to bring them back. So there's always this ebb and flow. And being that the feminine is in touch with these this connection and this energy, if you really tap into that energy, you'll know what you need to do with your energy in order to create this balance to move it forward. The King of Wands and the King of Cups is clarified by the Two of Wands, the Sun, and the Hanged Man. So this is about looking forward about coming together and being this power couple. The Sun is going to illuminate their path forward and illuminate who they are and how they need to be. But there's a pause in the action at this time, so they're sort of in a holding pattern. She needs to maintain this Queen of Cups energy and continue to see her masculine in the same light in order to hold him up and guide him. So even though there is separation and even though there is very little contact, the energies that they have, when she shines her light and becomes that beacon for home, if he, every now and then he might reach out just to see if she's still there, or reach out because he needs a little bit extra support. And you need to kind of let that come and go. I know that in and out energy sometimes is very frustrating, but it's necessary to move this connection forward. So let's look at the energies of the connection for March. Okay, so we have the Journey card. So the Journey card is about is sort of the Fool's energy. So this is about preparing for new beginnings, about getting ready to take a leap of faith forward. So this is kind of like standing on the edge of a cliff, kind of that anticipation before we jump into the water, or the diving board, however you want to envision it. So we're getting ready to take that leap of faith forward with this connection. That is clarified by the cycles card and action. So this could indicate with the next cycle of the moon, which I believe there's a full moon coming March 9th, there could be a change in the action. There could be a shift or a big step forward for this connection. So something significant could be coming on or around the 9th with that cycle of the moon. So pay attention for that. We have love, and the thing that I like most about this is that the love card is here directly in the center. So at the center of all this, there is love. There's a lot of love here between these two. There's a lot of passion and, kind of like magnets. They're really drawn to each other. So this is about unconditional love as well. This is about love of self, love of each other, and really continuing to radiate that love. This is clarified by patience and inner child. So with those two cards clarifying, this is a lot about self-worth and finding your love of yourself, loving your inner child, nurturing that inner child, really remembering how to have fun and bring passion and all that fun stuff back into your life. So you have to have patience with yourself. You're going to stumble along the way. You're going to run into problems, the in and out energies, all the stuff with this journey. You really need to have patience first and foremost, and love with yourself. And, we say that all the time. It starts with self-love. In order to love somebody else, you have to know how to love yourself first. And then we have this rigid card. So the rigid card is sort of a sticking point. It's sort of something that gives these two something, really difficult to think about, something that really needs to be worked out between them. So this is clarified by deception and by communication. So this combination of cards to me just means that the lack of communication that they have with each other right now is really causing stress on both sides. The masculine has the stress because it's suppressed emotions. He wants to come forward with his emotions. He wants to come forward with his truth. But he can't at this time because it's all being held in. That is causing on the feminine side undue worry and stress and confusion because she does not know where she stands or what's going on. So she really is relying solely on her intuition, and it's causing her some stress. So this is sort of the sticking point right now of this connection. So let's take a look now at the energies that are supporting the masculine and sort of what he's, I don't want to say struggling with at this time, but what he's finding difficult with to move forward with at this time. So the supportive energies for him are the Wheel of Fortune and the Hanged Man. So this is about destiny. This is about a destined pause in the action, kind of putting this on hold, like I said, until balance is found, until he can find his strength and his courage to be able to move this connection forward, because ultimately this is his position in this connection. He is the one that needs to make the move. He is the one that needs to step up and come forward. So the Wheel of Fortune is, because this is destined and it's something that he has to do, he's being guided to do that. But there is a pause until he can get the energy to move forward. So this is clarified by the Four of Wands. We have the Four of Wands over here for her, but it's also coming up in his supportive energies. He wants this reunion. He wants to have this very stable and even foundation built. to move forward. And that is further clarified by the Hangman. So that the Hangman being clarified by the Hangman, I believe, is also a change in perspective. So there are some beliefs and some thoughts that the masculine is holding on to that he needs to change his perspective on that. Maybe be a little less rigid on things. Maybe consider things that he might not have considered in the past. This is a connection, a relationship, a person that he has not contacted before in his life. So this is all brand new for him. So he is going to have to really switch his perspective up. And it's going to be a good change for him. And this is why it's his supportive energies right now. And being that we have the Eight of Cups here, he needs to walk away from those old beliefs and things that he's holding on to as well. The energies right now that he's finding most difficult, oddly enough, is the Four of Wands. So really trying to figure out how to put this whole thing together is really becoming a task for him. It's something that, like I said, there's a changing the perspective and losing sort of the way he's looking at things and thoughts and ideas that he has about relationships kind of from the past. He needs to let all that go. And he's finding that a little difficult to do. So this is clarified by the Eight of Pentacles, which means he's working hard on getting it done. And then we have the Magician here, which is a number 1 card, and it's about manifesting. So he is trying to manifest this connection that he truly wants. He's just finding it a little more difficult, probably than he would like. So let's look at the supportive energy and sort of what the feminine is struggling with right now. So her supportive energies is the Two of Swords and the Devil. So the Two of Swords is about finding inner balance, finding your peace, finding, going within and really getting in touch with your inner energies. And again, about balancing out all the energies here. The Devil's energy is about being bound to this connection. It is a strong sexual energy as well. It's also for her with the Two of Swords is sort of her outlook on relationships. So she's being also brought a relationship that she's never encountered before. This is not going to be your typical kind of codependent type of losing herself type of connection that she's had before. So this is something new that's being brought to her. And these 2 cards are further clarified by the Ten of Pentacles. So this is her long term. And knowing this and having the energy towards this connection and keeping herself balanced is what is supporting her at this time. What she's struggling with is the Seven of Cups. So she's confused. And like we talked about before with the deceptive energies and the lack of confusion, lack of communication, it's causing her to be confused. She knows she needs to follow her intuition. She knows she needs to, continue to move this forward and believe in things that she cannot see, and really have trust in the journey and trust in and there goes my dogs again. This is clarified by the Eight of Swords. And then further clarified by the Page of Oysters, or the Page of Pentacles. So the Eight of Swords is about I apologize. Hold on. Chase squirrels. I apologize. Okay, so the Seven of Cups clarified by the Eight of Swords. So this confusion and this unnecessary worry that she has because she does not see things happening in the 3D. She, a lot of things are happening behind the scenes. She is unnecessarily worrying about this solid offer that we have here as well. So, again, believing in the journey, trusting yourself and your intuition, trusting the journey, that things are happening as they should and will happen when they're supposed to. Dropping this worry, dropping your control on the outcome. The other thing that came to me as well is sometimes when we're manifesting, if we have a very specific way that we envision something unfolding, if you continue to think of your reunion with your twin, or, that pivotal moment when you come together as being, something in a movie, and it's very detailed, and, he's going to have a dozen roses and chocolates and get down on one knee and, run in slow motion across the beach, or whatever you envision. If you continue to envision the same coming together the same way, very much in very detailed manner, that can also cause a delay in the energy, because the universe wants to give you everything you ask for. So if you're very specific and you constantly envision these things happening a certain way, the universe kind of gets stuck. Like, how am I going to give this all to her? How am I going to make this all happen? So if you broaden and open your mind and broaden up that what you're trying to manifest, and just say, I'm open to receiving, this union in any way, shape, or form that it comes when it's ready to come. Kind of open that up to be a little broader. That will free up the energy for it to flow again as well. So that was something that came to me probably when I was running up and down the stairs. Okay, so the supportive energies for the connection, and kind of what's holding it up at this time. We have a collision. So again, this is about finding balance. This is about releasing old energies and allowing new energies to come in. So it's a very kind of disruptive energy, especially when you have suppressed emotions and suppressed communications. That's building up pressure. And that's clarified by understanding. So knowing what this connection is about and allowing these things to come together is what's supporting this connection at this time. What's holding it up, the energy, is transformation. So both of these two counterparts are going through major transformations. They're learning lessons. They're totally different people now than they were when they were in the first initial bubble stage. So this whole connection itself is going to take on a whole new light and a whole new meaning. That doesn't mean you're not going to feel that intense love and that intense happiness that you had in that bubble stage. It just means that it's taking on a whole different direction than it would have taken back then, because you are two different people in two different parts of your life at this point. So you have to allow that transformation to finish and take place. Do not fight the changes. Do not fight the turns in your path, because it all is destined and it will all come back. And this is clarified by mute. So this is the reason that things are sort of on hold and being suppressed from each other, because you both have work to do on your own to be able to be individually stable and balanced before you can come together and be together. So bottom of the decks for everybody. Bottom of the deck for the masculine is the Hanged Man, is the Hierophant. So this is about his journey. This is about his spiritual path, about learning about himself, and this contract. This is his part of his contract that he needs to fulfill. The clarifier bottom of the deck is the Two of Wands. So he is looking forward to the future, looking forward towards this contract being fulfilled. And that's his overall energy. The bottom of the decks for the connection is devotion and steady. So even though the action is very slow to progress, and it is progressing. So if you take a look at your connective energies right now and compare it to where it was a month ago or 6 months ago, or, in the past, you have been making baby steps. You have been kind of inching forward, and slow and steady wins the race. So do not get hung up on the fact that things are not moving quickly at this time. Remain devoted to this connection, devoted to the path and your place in it. And you will get there. Bottom of the decks for the feminine is the Wheel of Fortune. This is destined, like I said. This is a destined connection. This is destiny. You cannot fight fate. You cannot fight destiny. What's written will happen. It may, if you make different decisions and make different turns, it may take a little longer than possibly if you made an alternate decision, but in the end, it will always come around. And her bottom of the deck for her clarifiers is the Eight of Cups. So she too is walking away from things that no longer serve her and is kind of in motion to find her Two of Cups. And the person on the card, which you probably can't see because of the video, but is walking towards the masculine, is walking this way to find her Two of Cups. Bottom of the deck for the theme cards, the end of a tough cycle approaches. So again, another validation that we are coming towards the end of these cycles and towards the possibility of sacred union. So guidance cards from the archangels today for the masculine. Six of Michael. It's the light at the end of the tunnel. Breathe a sigh of relief and make new plans. So this is signaling a new beginning, an ending to this difficult period for him. He is building strength. He's getting to the end of that tunnel. So keep up the work and keep strong. For the feminine, we have the Chariot, determination and self-control. So this is about forward motion. And like I said, keeping the progress moving forward. Be determined and self-control. You have to remember that you are the love and you are the light at this point, and you are home to your masculine. So you need to be that nurturing, loving point that he looks to when he needs a little support. Always hold him up. Never talk poorly about your masculine. They are you. They are your counterpart. So you definitely want to share the love with that. Guidance for the connection, we have the Magician. So this is about you can manifest the life you want. What you need will magically appear. Successful beginning. So again, another validation that something new is coming, and it will be magical, and what you're looking for will manifest. You just have to continue to keep that vibration high and keep looking towards the future. Message for the feminine from the masculine. Life is a series of constantly shifting cycles. When we resist change, we resist the natural flow of life and create unnecessary stress. Go with the flow. You'll be surprised where it leads. So he too is acknowledging the fact that she's under unnecessary stress, that she's worrying over nothing. Go with the flow, that things are happening as they should. Message to the masculine from the feminine, forgiveness. Stop focusing your energy on past events, for life is too precious to waste. You create your reality by what you think, dream, and imagine. So she knows that he's holding on to possibly past heartbreaks, failed relationships in his past. He could be holding on to regret of how he handled this connection or how he treated her. And she's letting him know that he needs to first and foremost forgive and love himself. And let all that go, that this is a new beginning. This is a chance for a new start. And you don't want to bring old baggage with you on this new trip. And then advice from a message to both counterparts for the connection. And this is about sacred union. Honor and treasure your relationship, for it is truly sacred. So this also is a indicator that you are very close to achieving that sacred physical union. Bottom of the deck for the archangels is the Nine of Raphael. Make a wish. Dreams become reality, a joyful time of life. So again, another validation that good things are coming. And bottom of the deck for the Lovers Oracle, my beloved, though we may be physically apart, spiritually we are always united, for love transcends space and time. Nothing is missing. So that is a beautiful note to end this reading. Continue to breathe through Mercury retrograde. We are going into the darkest period of it. We have a full moon on the 9th. So read up on what you need to do as far as your intentions and letting go of things. Remember to go with the flow, roll with the punches, allow things to be removed from your life that no longer serve you, and allow that wheel to turn because we are getting close, and March is going to be another month of closing out cycles and hard work, but the light at the end of the tunnel is here. So stay strong, and we will check in again soon. So remember that I am available for personal readings. If you'd like to book a personal reading, you can reach me by email, lisaannhealing1111@gmail.com. You can follow me on Facebook, Lisa Ann Tarot, and IG, Lisa Ann Tarot. And you can message me on there as well. You can also pop a comment. Make sure you like this video. Subscribe to my channel. Feel free to share it out. Share the word. And I appreciate your support. So thank you and have a good day.